Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unapologetic Tea Time with your host, PG. That is me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know it is late. I know that I am late. Um, y'all know I'm a diehard Democrat, and I had to get my uh, look on and look and see and my analysis for the third day of the Democratic National Convention, the virtual one. As we all know, because of the times that we are living in, this is historical because I have never seen a virtual um, party convention before. Of course, they come around every 4 years, as we know. And with that being said, um, I had to watch it, and I was on a little panel discussion with about 15 other people after it was over, and it was pretty nice and pretty informative, and we had a lot of good ideas, and we had a lot of diversity and a lot of comments that gave a lot of food for thought. But anyway, I am coming to you live. Thank God for that. I hope that you're all doing well whenever you play back this vlog and our podcast and listen to it. I am happy to be back in the saddle. I am taking it a bit slow and easy, and slow and steady wins the race, of course. As you all know, once again, I'm going to let you know that in case you don't, that I was on a mental and emotional sabbatical leave of absence from my channel, and basically from quite a number of other things in my personal life. However, with that being said, again, I want to welcome all of my new subscribers, and I want to say thank you. And I appreciate all of my current survivors. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for being patient. And just overall, thank you. Hey, Aaron, how are you? Glad to see you. And thank you for welcoming me back. Anyway, moving right along, moving forward, I wanted to say that we have quite a bit to talk about, and we have a short time to get our acts together and in order to implement some new things in our lives that I'm going to suggest that we all do moving forward, coming up to the election, which is only some months away. We are in dire need of new leadership at the top, and some states are in need of leadership at the top of their podium, such as governors, other elected officials, mayors, and what have you. So please take it for what it's worth. I'm asking that each and every one of you go to the polls and vote. People who are working for us, the United States citizens, they don't work for themselves, they work for we the people, and that's us. So when we have issues such as the pandemic going on, and we have other issues with race, we have economic issues with unemployment, job loss due to some things that perhaps could not necessarily have been totally controlled, but they could have been perhaps better than what they are now. We are at 170,000 plus people. Hey, Miss Monique, glad to see you. Thank you for joining me. I am a bit late, and I am going to apologize to you as I have apologized earlier when I first got on. But y'all know I have to get my Democratic National Convention fix on. I'm a diehard Democrat. Ain't no shame in my game. Yes, I am. And then I was invited to be on this little after the panel, after the shows, there was a panel. And thank you so much. I'm glad to to be back in the saddle, and glad to know that people like you and others care whether I'm here or not. So that means a lot to me. But anyway, that went well, and that's why I'm coming on late. But we have a lot to do in a short time, y'all, to do it in coming up to this election. This is an election that will shape the nation for the rest of our lives, shall we say. Um, and going forward with that, we have a lot of work still left to do. What I decided to do when I said that I was coming back and everything, I decided to think of something that I could offer up my subscribers and my listeners and my occasional viewer audience or viewer listeners that come on every now and again, and then to people who have newly subscribed and what have you, and the ones that will subscribe perhaps in the future, is to offer up a series that I'm going to be doing for it's probably going to be a 6-week series, and it's titled Program of Operation Series. And just today, we're going to talk about framework. And what I mean about framework is, first off, let me give you a breakdown of the meaning of framework. And I'm not speaking of framework as in computer science framework, but I am speaking in terms of framework in relative terms that we all know, sort of like structural, like building a house or building a barn. The basic structure of something, a set of facts or ideas that provide support for something. And this is what we're going to do today. We're going to keep it short because it is late, and we will resume on probably Sunday or Wednesday of next week. Wednesday will be the third day of the Republican National Convention. I can't say that I'm going to be tuning in each day, but I do plan on tuning in 1 or 2 days of the 4-day event. But anyway, I'm going to set the framework today for my series. And what I plan to do is talk about building, talk about how we can sort of take a reflection quickly at where we are right now in our life and what we can do to build on it to make our lives stronger, going through this global pandemic, going through this severe economic crisis that we're going through, and how are we going to continue to survive and garner some resources and put those resources in place so that they will be there for us when and if we should need them, or be there for us to use right now. That's what I'm offering up, trying to do my part as a YouTuber with a small channel, but yet I do have a voice. So in the coming weeks, starting actually on Saturday, I have 6 different new posts that will be posted to my blog on Saturday early morning. I have to complete the last 2 of them. The rest of them are set and ready to go, as I was working on them yesterday and also late this afternoon. So that will be posted on the blog at www.unapologetic-timewithpg.com. There will be some overall resources talking about financial assistance for certain states that have financial grants to help renters, talking about perhaps still calling your mortgage companies and what have you if you're having trouble, maybe perhaps trying to get still forbearance on your mortgages and what have you, talking about trying to secure work from home jobs, or because there's a lot of people who are out of work currently, and we know that some of the states now you guys are unable to receive the unemployment payments because some of the states do not have the money. They have run short, and it's going to be very difficult to have them strain up to try to add that $100 in, whereas the federal government said that they were going to give out 400, and it turns out they're giving out 300 and leaving it up to the states to add the other $100. We don't know if that's going to happen. Some states are saying that they will be able to pay. Others are saying that they won't be able, and they're having to borrow money. And some states have already borrowed money already for other necessary things for the infrastructure of those states and cities. So it's going to be a tough time moving forward into the fourth quarter of the year. And we don't know what the future holds for us, but what we can do is we can try to shore up things that we can control, because we all know that we are not in control of every little thing, but things that we are in control of or have control over, some of us can do a better job. Some of us can learn from someone else, perhaps, or add to what we have and build on that. So that's why I am talking about laying the framework of my series starting tonight and then moving forward. We have everything under the sun that has been taking place in the last few months. Our death toll here in the United States is steadily rising, as we know. We have right now, currently, the battle, basically the battle of the bulge for voter suppression. It's us versus the folks in the White House. The dotard in chief he is, the buffoon that he is, and his other cronies that exist still without any repercussions. It's sad to say, but nearly 4 years later, this is where we are. We've gone from, in the beginning of his presidency to towards the end of 2020, we've gone from bad to worse, and I'm afraid to say how much worse it can actually get, but it can. As Michelle Obama even said, it can get worse, and let's not fool ourselves, it can. So what we have to do is prepare now. On my channel, I have talked previously. A lot of you have been rocking with me. Know that I always talk about preparing for tomorrow. Do today what you can do today, but always try to prepare for tomorrow, such as that rainy day, because we know that there will be rain sooner or later. There is a food shortage. I don't know where a lot of you live, but there are food shortages going on at record proportions. Things are tightening up ever so much in the grocery stores. Prices are steadily rising, y'all. So with that being said, you have to do what you need to do to shore up yourself and your family so that we can weather the storm. Okay? And that's just being frank, and that's just being honest. I'm not out here trying to fear monger or induce any fear in anyone, because that's not something that I want to do, nor is it something that I intend to do. I just want all of my listeners to be educated and informed citizens. Okay? Because sometimes, let's face it, not everyone listens to the news. Not everyone can stomach the news these days. Not everyone perhaps has different capabilities as some people do. You know, some of us have high-speed internet. Some may not have the highest speed internet. Sometimes your cable service may not work properly, or sometimes you may be on just the antenna. And when it rains, you may not have great reception. If you don't have great reception, I'm just letting you know you can come to my channel or go to my blog and find out news and information and resources that I have done the research. I have made the phone calls. I have spent hours and hours of time making certain that before I spit it out, it's what it is. It is what it is. Like the dotard in chief said the other day, for me, it's going to be the truth. For me, I'm going to check and recheck those facts to make certain that I am not giving you any misinformation or misleading you in any way. And that's just the way I am. I'd rather be slow about turning something loose and making certain that it is valid information that someone out there could use than to potentially give you some information that could potentially harm you or your family or friends or someone that you know, or give you this misinformation and you go half cocked and it injures you in a not a physical way, but perhaps an emotional way, because we're all going through trauma right now, whether you know it or not, whether you accept it or not. This is traumatizing for all of us. This is not something that any of us should get used to. This is not normal. This is not normal. And I don't care who tries to normalize it. This is not normal. This is just not normal. The way that we're having to live right now, it is not normal. I don't know if we will ever go back to what we once had. Probably not, but I'm hoping that we can get damn near close to what we had and then even better. But right now, ain't shit normal about this. Moving right along, folks, swiftly and professionally, I'd like to continue to talk about how we're going to build on with this series. I'm going to talk about objectives, that instead of talking about goals that we need to set quickly, I'm going to talk about objectives that we need to be able to set rather quickly going forward into the fourth quarter and into November for election time, because objectives themselves are something basically that you can identify with versus a goal. It takes objectives to map out the road in which or what path you're going to take in order to be able to achieve that goal. So that's why I'm choosing to talk about objectives. Objectives we're going to cover Sunday or either Wednesday of next week. And some of those are going to be growth, self-growth, surviving the pandemic, and surviving the economic crisis. We're going to talk about finances, what we need to do to try to shore up, even if you're on unemployment, even if you are now working from home at a reduced salary, perhaps being furloughed once a month or something. I'm not sure, but there are some things that we all can do to help ourselves make a few more dollars or to keep a few more dollars in our pockets. So I will be talking about all of those things and asking that you try a couple of them, because none of them is going to cost you anything. That's not what I'm trying to do. But when you're going to the supermarkets, and everybody these days pretty much has a smartphone, cell phone, these are apps that you can put on your phone to help save money at the grocery store, help save money if you are doing a lot of shopping online, things to help you perhaps if you haven't had to do a real bona fide budget before, maybe giving you some ideas as to how to budget the money that you have coming in. Perhaps maybe asking around your neighborhood, family and friends, drive by, hey, y'all have metal at your house. Maybe we can form a little group and we can all turn in our cans and stuff at the local scrapyard or whatever. Things around your house that's old, as far as something broken, that old broken swing in the backyard or what have you, the old couple of rake candles and metal implements that you use for gardening that you no longer use, that are broken and the handles are off, and you know that you're not going to turn that stuff in. It's a little bit of cash, and that little bit of cash basically could be, hey, a few gallons of gasoline. That little bit of cash could be put, hey, in your drawer to build on your emergency fund. So those are some things that I'm going to be talking about. Resources also, and support. I'm going to talk about being steady. I'm going to talk about being reliable, to oneself, to one's family, and community. And then the last thing of the series that we'll close out with is, we all know that the rules of the game of life have changed here lately. So we're going to talk about winning at this game of life that we're having to all play right now during this pandemic time. So that's what I wanted to bring forward. Now, a little bit of, and I'm going to get up off here in the next 10 minutes, but I want to talk briefly about some real current stuff. I want to talk about the pissy dick men that keep on talking about these black women that have come up with the song WAP, W-A-P, wet ass, you know what, Punani. Well, here's my take. I'm not surprised with Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. I'm not surprised that they've come out with something vulgar. Over the years, I can remember Rick James being banned. I can remember Millie Jackson being banned from the Baton Rouge Centralplex because she had such a terrible mouth on her. I can remember but they were still artists. And I can remember the black men of that era and during that time did not denigrate their women the way that they do now. Okay. It's okay for you young brothers to call people bitches and hoes in your rap songs and run it in the hole and do this and do that. But when a black female gets on and talks about a part of her body on the female anatomy, then you got a problem with it. All of a sudden, you trying to raise your daughter. Let me tell you something. If you raising your daughter, pissy dick men, if you're raising your daughter to be a queen, then that's what she's going to be. After she gets a particular age and she strays away, if she strays away from this particular supposedly so godly upbringing that you're hollering and screaming about on social media, then that's on her and not you if you've raised her properly. If you're raising her to be the queen that she's supposed to be, then she'll be that queen. But if you raising her to be a hoe, or if she wants to be a hoe, she gonna be a hoe, whether she listens to WAP or not. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna need you pissy dick black men, especially, to get up off of these black sisters and your black counterparts. I need you to stand with them, okay? Not against them. If you can't be beside them, at least stand behind them and back them up. Far too many times, black women especially do not get the same, and they bleed the same red blood once the oxygen hits it. They don't get the same notification or notoriety that the black man gets. Now, black is black, period. End of that. George Floyd, we all saw, knee on that man's neck, choked the living life out of him. Okay, Breonna Taylor laying in her bed sleeping. Okay, she gunned down in her bed. Okay, but I didn't see not one black person hauling out to the streets talking about Breonna Taylor until after George Floyd was killed. Okay, way after. Now we're mentioning Breonna Taylor. Now Oprah Winfrey had the mitigated gall to put Breonna Taylor on the face of her magazine. All right, that's all fine and good, but I didn't see anybody take it to the streets when Sandra Bland, burning down places or whatever. I didn't see y'all doing that for the sisters. All right, now if you're gonna stand up, the problem that I have, God damn it, stand up for every fucking body. Stand up for the black sisters as well. March in the goddamn streets for the black sisters too. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're being killed. Black people, I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. Black men, I'm gonna need y'all to stop denigrating your sisters. Because let me tell you something. If it wasn't for a woman, your fucking pissy dick ass wouldn't be here today. And that's what I'm going to tell you, and that's how I feel. If you don't like it, that's fine. It doesn't matter to me because I give two fucks, okay? I don't care because this is my channel. These are my opinions, unapologetically, because my channel name, one, is Unapologetic Tea Time with PG, and I am PG. I'm going to tell it like a T.I. is. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. Get the hell, get to stepping. Or you could stick around and you might gain a little knowledge, or hey, you might find out a resource or something that you can use. You never know. I'm just saying, this is my opinion. This is what I see from my purview. Okay? Right is right and wrong is wrong. So I'm going to need y'all to get up off of Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. And again, I'm going to say, I'm not surprised, okay, that these young women have made this kind of song. I'm not surprised. Okay, you got to look at the caliber of people that you're working with also. That doesn't surprise me. Just like people still surprised Donald Trump spewing craziness out of his mouth. Are you surprised? You got to look at the person. You got to look at the person. Megan Thee Stallion might be a very bright young lady, but you also got to look at how young she is. You also have to look at what she's being influenced or whom she's being influenced by. Okay? When you're young, sometimes you're dumb. You could be real smart, but then you could be real dumb also. Look at the amount of young people running around here with no masks on. Look at the amount of young people. Look at the amount of grown, old ass people running around here with no mask on, talking crazy. Then they ended up in the hospital with COVID. That's a problem. To each his own. But you have to look at what is in front of you. Okay? You have to look at what's in front of you. You can't look at it from a side eye or a side view perspective. You got to look at it face on. I don't entertain craziness. I really don't. But I thought I would speak on WAP or WAP, whatever the hell it's called. That doesn't surprise me. Now, fitting the time is way off. Okay, but these are artists. They're trying to make $1. They trying to survive. They trying to eat just like you and me and every damn body else. And they figure somebody told them that y'all make this song and this is gonna sell. Well, I think they number 3 or 4 on the Billboard. That doesn't surprise me either, because sex sells, nudity sells, vulgarness sells. Vulgarity sells. Alcohol sells. So that doesn't surprise me. And I'm trying to figure out why you surprised. But the only thing that surprises me or kind of gets me under my skin is how many black men speak out about this, but yet you don't mind calling somebody a bitch or a hoe or whatever. You don't mind sticking your pissy dick in somebody and then going and sticking it in somebody else and then somebody else on the same day. You see? So that doesn't make you any better than these women. In fact, it makes you worse. Okay. We know that one of them was a stripper. Probably both of them. I don't know. Her mother passed away. She had a hard life. She's trying to survive. She's trying to go to school and everything else. She's trying to get her tuition paid. Okay. I personally would never think about doing something like that, but there's those who do. You got young males tricking. You got young males going with older women to get their needs met or whatever it is they do. You got all kinds of stuff going on. Two wrongs, like I say, don't make a right. They are artists. They have the freedom of expression through their art form, which is music or rapping or videos or both or whatever. But we as Blacks have enough to go through every day in our lives, every single day, no matter how many degrees you have, no matter how good you look. We got enough to go through without our own people tearing us down because we make a song. Look at Prince. Prince was banned, and I love me some Prince. Matter of fact, I got to see Prince on his very last concert here in Atlanta. Just Prince at his piano. But some of his songs were banned. And I could name a whole lot of other artists. Boy George, years and years ago. All kinds of stuff. But to think y'all gonna speak out on some bullshit? Y'all worry about the wrong thing. Y'all need to be worried about trying to survive in the next few months. Y'all need to be worried about these prices in the grocery stores. Y'all need to be worried about how the grocery stores have moved stuff around and spreaded stuff out on the aisles to make the aisles look full. And when you look behind the one or two items that they have on the shelf, ain't nothing behind there. It's empty. You need to be worried about that. Y'all can't think about that. Y'all thinking about the wrong damn thing. Five more minutes and I'm up out of here. But I'm just saying, y'all think about that. Think about what I've talked about tonight. I'm laying the framework for the program of operation series. And tonight's part one of it was framework. We talked about what we're going to do about objectives. We're going to talk about the objectives. We're going to talk about growing, self-growth, surviving this pandemic. We're going to talk about finances and financial health. We got to talk about some of the choices that we're making and some of the choices that we're going to have to make in a short period of time here before long during the fourth quarter. We got to talk about resources, and we got to talk about support for our family members, support for each other, support for our communities, and what we're going to do to get involved with this voter drive and the drive for the drive out of this person that is holding up space in the White House that has torn this country completely apart. We cannot stand another 4 years, y'all. We can't. You think it's bad now? Hell, it might not even be a US of A in fucking 4 years from now. At the rate we're going. And it's really sad. It's something to think about, and it's something to consider. I can't tell you who to vote for, but I can certainly say that we're in trouble. We've been in trouble for nearly 4 years now. And each year, it has progressively gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. In my lifetime, I've never thought that I would live during a pandemic, a global pandemic, to where we've made it normal, basically, to go and order up us some masks in different colors, different rhinestones, and trying to normalize. That's not normal. That's not normal. Just the other day, I was saying to myself, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get me a mask with the Saints logo on there, because y'all know I'm from Louisiana. I love the Saints. I'm like, what? Fuck, this ain't what the hell? Child ordered me some black plain masks so I could send them over there to the person that does my t-shirts and different things so they can and I'm gonna make me a design and I'm gonna send it over in Photoshop and they're gonna print them up. That's not normal, y'all. That's not normal. But in our minds, we're trying to cope so much because we have to, until we're just trying to appease ourselves. You know, how I wish that I can go in a restaurant and sit down and put my feet under a table and have the waiter, one of my favorite waiters or waitresses, come and wait on me and chat it up with them. How I wish, just to support the few restaurants that are still open in my area that I frequented. I have to eat the shit outside in my truck, or I have to go get it to go, or go through the drive-through, then still sit out in the parking lot and eat my food like I'm at the damn restaurant. Well, I'm in the parking lot of it, so it kind of like makes me, well, I'm out of the house. But I mean, that's not normal. That's not normal. And I know that we cannot do another fucking 4 years of this. This is crazy. This is not normal. This is crazy. This is damn near the definition of insanity right here. We're doing the same. We're going backwards instead of forward. We marching in the street. We're killing up each other in record proportion, black and white. We got politicians stealing. We got politicians going to jail. We got all kinds of stuff going on. Then we got a global pandemic. We got damn recession. We going into a depression. We got, it's just too much. There's nothing normal about the mode and the way we are living today. There's nothing normal about this. Farmers are going broke. Crops can't be produced. Having problems getting it to the grocery stores because there is none to bring. The people trying to produce as much as they can, as fast as they can, but it's not enough. There's a problem. We got foreign nations that damn near collapsing, that was buying goods from us. We need our own food. We can't send food across the water no more right now. We need our own food to stay right here in our own country. We got a problem. But anyway, y'all, it's been good. It's been great. Someone on here needs to hear the words, I love you. Someone on here needs to know that trouble is not going to last always. I can't tell you when it's going to be over for your storm. But what I can say is that sooner or later, it will end. And it's always a new day in 24 little hours. So keep the faith, keep your head up, keep your chin up, and know that God is still in control. It could be worse. Thank God it's not. Thank God for the blessings that we have that have been stored upon us, that continue to rain down on us. Because if you look around, there's so many others that don't have what you have, that don't have what I have. We are blessed. We're blessed still, even though we're going through hell, it seems, right here in our own nation. But there are other nations that's going through greater hell than what we're going through right now. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. I'm going to close out and bid you a good evening, a good morning, a good night, and a good day wherever you may be and wherever you tune in. Thank you for tuning in, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.